Faith is a risk, but it's a risk worth taking because you know that God is the one that furnished it in your heart. The commensurate courage that is required to respond to the promptings of God. You must be courageous. If we are going to see the great works of God in our time again, in every area of your life, you need courage. Some of us are called into the economic war front. God wants to use you as an instrument to push kingdom business forward. God is very ambitious. He's more ambitious than yourself. And so when he speaks, that sense of smallness, he's trying to cast it out so that you can find courage, because you need to take giant steps. Now let me give you an idea, because I want you to pray this. I'm expecting to hear testimonies before June. That in my family this had never happened. It's happening this is the first time we are sharing this testimony in our entire family. That's what it will take courage. We had 5 million Nigerian naira in the account when I prophesied that we were going to build God a sanctuary and people from all nations will come there. 5 million. Eventually, when we roofed, we had spent 1.7 million pounds, but we had 5 million when I was prophesying. Every Sunday I was on site picking. If we bring a tipper of to site, I'll say, Satan, you were there, and we were able to move this sand, and it's on site. It's not in the spirit realm. Is it right here? If Satan could kill me, he would have killed me before that building, because when the foundation was laid, you can imagine what I said. Hey, where are you? We laid the foundation. You are still alive, but it, despite your presence, it means I have no covenant with you. Many will say you are mad. That's the way of the courageous. Can you go outside of the box? All of your relatives, this is how they operate. Can you? Hey. I'm provoking you. My mother was there the day the place was dedicated. She was mute. When we opened our first branch, it was in Ghana. I said, "Oh, Satan, are you awake? Are you awake? We're in Ghana. Now, when we were doing the numbers, we counted 46 nations. When we were doing the number. He said, be strong and what? And courageous. That's the tonic for the mighty. That was a stammer. They sent me a video from the Philippines. It was a ministers' conference. It was our video tape they were using as resource materials. And I've never been to the Philippines. I pray I visit there in my lifetime. But a moment comes when God can stand on your life and glorify himself in a generation. I know you were trained to be pious, humble, sanctimonious. I know you are the sacramental type, and you just come and say, holy is the Lord. What I'm talking about is not piety. I'm talking about strength. What I'm talking about is courage. What I'm talking about is the ability to believe what God is saying and the willingness to act on it. Most of you are afraid. When they say fighting, they say, I'm not quite cut out for this kind of fight. I told you before, the safest place to be in the kingdom is in the front line. The people that suffer most, that become liabilities, are people that they don't want to be in the front line, they just want to stay on the sideline. But our counseling time is exhausted by those people. So we have mechanisms by which we can tell where the problems are coming from. Always from people that don't like contending. Life is better for people that are contenders. Life is better, I'm telling you, it's better all around. Because demons know that when you come into this place, you must have a good reason to come there. But some people are living in laxity because they have been measured. Their destiny has been measured and managed by demonic entities. And they say, okay, we don't want to fight. If you hear a minister say stuff like, we are not into deliverance, we just preach the word, mark him. He's not equipped enough to cover your destiny, because most of the elements that are going to trouble and bedevil your destiny are spiritual in nature. It means he lacks competence to play that role in your life. Life is not science fiction. It's not a cartoon. Are you? May the Lord help us in Jesus. So this man said he fought against what? The beast of Ephesus. So when I came to my city, where God, that is the first apostolic mission God gave me, was to the campuses of Nigeria. I went around Nigeria 6 times in apostolic engagements, from campus to campus, preaching the gospel, people getting saved, baptized in the Holy Ghost, getting healed, getting delivered. So that was what, when I'm taking a flight, you think I'm going here, I'm going far. I'm speaking in tongues on the flight. Speaking in tongues because I don't have time. The flight time is part of the prayer time. And when I hit the ground and I pick my bag, I don't greet anybody. I did that for 10 years. For 10 good years. From the time Jesus encountered me somewhere in the Middle East, that's the first time Jesus appeared to me. Appeared like this, appeared to me. You may not have those encounters very frequently, but I have one. I have one when Jesus came into my hotel room. It was in Dubai, in a hotel called Rahab Hotel, in a district called Dera, an area called Sabka. I'm giving you the details because I'm not hallucinating. It's practical hard facts. So Jesus came into my room. That was where he commissioned me to start going from campus to campus. So that was where I tested my weapons. When I did that for 10 years, because Jesus said to me that if I was faithful, he was going to open the gates of nations to me. So that was 2009 to 2019. On the 16th of August 2019, Jesus comes to me again. I didn't know that it will be for 10 years. This time he came in a vision. I was seeing him, but it was not physical. The first time it was physical. The second time was in a vision. And that was the first time Jesus began to tell me about leaving my job. Because, he told me that if I'm faithful, he'll open the gates of nations to me. So he told me in parables, I have come to set you free, so that where I am, there also will my servant be. That was what he said to me. So I asked my wife for interpretation. I said, do I look like someone that is bound? Say, you are bound. I said, I'm bound? I said, where are my chains? He said, your job. I said, stop that. Stop that. This job is good. This job is okay. Oh, so it took 1 year because I told Jesus, I said, you don't speak to me in parables, you speak to me plainly. So if you are coming with parables, I'm going to wait for you to interpret it. Don't ever assume you know what he's saying and you take off like a tornado. It is not him you are serving. If you take off like a tornado, that's not obedience. Somebody ran to me the other day and said, yes, he had this dream and because of that he went and resigned and you are in the wilderness. That's where you are. Nobody sent you there. So I said, I will not move on a parable. And I remained. Then 1 year later, that was 2020, because he came to me in 2019. 2020, he came to me in August. That's 1 year. I did 3 days of fasting. I locked myself up, prayed in tongues for 3 days. He didn't talk to me. On the 3rd day, I picked my bag. I was heading back to the office. And then while I was in the vehicle, he came into the vehicle and said, how are you? I said, fine. When will your passport expire? I said, 28th of September 2020. He said, your job also expires that day. So that was why I put in my resignation 5th of October 2020. It was 10 years. I didn't call people I know a lot of ministers. I didn't call anyone for invitation. He opened the doors to the nations because he said he would do so. Do you understand that? When I began to travel to the nations, that was when I started seeing the beasts of nations. I was doing very well. I was not seeing beasts until I started traveling from nation to nation. That was when I realized why I received the training that I received. Because in the city that we started this ministry, the strong man of that city was the witchcraft spirit. Most of the cases that we're contending with, you will see witchcraft. Families destroyed by witchcraft. People afflicted by witchcraft. It was obvious that it was a witchcraft spirit that was operating in that vicinity. It means that if God was sending me there, it means that he was willing to train me to know how to fight that beast. And the reason why Paul called it beast is because if you actually see them, those spirits, they look like beasts. That's why I call them beasts. Many don't know that the beast that rules over a territory, whether people know it or not, is only those that are spiritually alive, that are not operating under the influence of that beast. Only those that are spiritually alive. If not, every other person, including Christians that are weak, are being governed by that beast. Do you realize that before Moses, his mandate was to take people out of captivity and to take them to the land that God had promised them? But before he could touch people, Moses had to deal with the spirits of Egypt. That is how territories are won. You must exercise authority over the strong man of the city. And when you have bound that strong man, you have dispossessed the strong man of the armor in which he trusted, then you can spoil his goods. And part of his cargo are men that he has kept in captivity.